Alright, so I know that we've been gone for a long ass time. But before that we can explain what's been happening, what's been going on, I need to prove something. Hold on.
Okay.
Just give me
Okay.
Alright, so I made this in the morning. Oh shit. Okay, so I made this in the morning. I can explain. So for those who don't follow me. Yes.
I know where this is going.
Yeah, you know where this is going. So recently
Well, go ahead.
the cat trailer just came out.
If you're doing this, do this in front of the camera.
Oh really? Okay.
Go.
Okay.
Go full conspiracy theory.
Go full conspiracy.
Pepe Soviet bullshit.
It's a game theory time.
He
Alright,
gets very in depth.
Okay, hold up.
I fucking got you.
So, we
Such a
all know that the
psychopathic-
cat trailer, the new cat trailer, the theater, musical shit, I don't know if I can see, you can see it, like, this ugly thing that you can find on DeviantArt, just came out. Like 2 hours ago. Like 2 hours, or some shit, I don't really remember, but I saw it on Twitter and then furries and all that, but then I came to a realization about something. That maybe there's a connection towards Cat in the Hat. And what I believe is what's happening is that they're connected universe. And the way how I'm... Oh, there are two people watching. Shit, hi.
Hi, Star Gaming.
Hold on, adjusting audio for a second.
You're all in for a treat.
Now, alright, so the way I believe this starts off is simply... Starts with the Cat in the Hat, you know, from Cat in the Hat 2000 something, I don't really
2003.
2003, thank you. Cat in the Hat started this, live action with furry cats. I mean, look at this face. The guy who plays Shrek is this man in Cats. So, how does this connect to the ugly fucks right over here that sing and dance? Well, let me explain. You see, there's theories around the movie. There's theories that I just made up right now. Is that these two fucked. Because I remember this fucker had a boner on his hat, like going up when he saw it.
Oh shit, you're right. Actually, yeah. I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
and then
He
like
has
the
a head
kids were
dick.
like, "That's my mom," and he was like, "Oh fuck, this is awkward. I can't fuck her right now. I have to wait and fuck her." So probably
He has to wait.
right after the movie, when he stopped stalking them, he barged in like, "I'm gonna fuck your mom," and she was totally fine with it because after her husband fucking left her and they yipped fucking everywhere.
It was consensual. She
Why are
wanted.
you looking at me? Look at the camera.
Yipping everywhere, and therefore making Garfield. Now, the way how it explains this Garfield is that, look at it. The reason why this is orange because the kid is wearing an orange shirt. So therefore... therefore...
It's cartoon logic.
Therefore, it's an orange fucking cat. Now, before we go back to Garfield, we need to talk about a connection. Now, I believe this fucker has a brother from London. Now, the way how I know this is that this boy right here, the way how I know this is that he's black and white, he has a bow tie, and he's fat.
Also, they must be related.
Also, they're definitely related. You know this. You know they're related. So therefore, it's connection to that world. However, before I can continue... Shit, where was I?
He's fucking crap.
I'm making this up as I go, man. Let me have this.
He said you'd find this out.
I'm playing this out a little. So before I go back to this fucker, let's go back to the Garfield thing. Now, as you know, Garfield is some fat little fucker that they had to abandon because, like, they can't have this around their neighborhood. The neighbors would judge them for, like, all the years to come. So, they abandoned it, and the Garfield franchise started in mid-2006. And there, we already had the first Garfield where we met, let's not deal with that. Let's go to Tales of Two Kitties, where there's two cats. One's fat and ugly piece of shit. One's royalty and fancy and a fat piece of shit.
Yeah.
Now, there's mass connection. I need to drop the snipe. There's mass connection that this guy is descent... where was he? Okay, so this fat cat... fucked and made this fat cat in the trailer. It's orange, it's fat as fuck, so that must be royalty right there.
He's gonna power through it.
I don't think that's how weight works.
No, it's cats! It's cat! It's cat genetics! A fat cat is a fat cat! Therefore, we're making more fat cats connecting to the movie, where we have right here
That's
of
not
this
how
weird
genetics works.
connection to the Garfield.
Just let that fun. Raphael, once you're done, I kind of want to dispute your theory just a little bit.
I want to give you a biology lesson.
Good thing. So therefore, she is royalty, even though I don't know that much about the cats thing.
never even
Oh
seen-
shit, 3 people.
Oh boy, you're really reeling them in here.
Yeah, I am. And their connection to this universe of royalty cats. Therefore, he fucked more cats because royalty gets to do whatever the fuck they want. So if they want to fuck more cats and get more pussy, they
Literally.
literally, I'm not
Quite
joking, literally,
even literally.
they started inbreeding more fucking cats for this new cat trailer to happen. But now, how am I
That's how
connecting
Hollywood
this to over here? Well, with Garfield, he has a cousin, which is this cat from Smurfs. The cat from Gargamel.
I mean,
Now,
yeah.
I need to ask y'all something. What's a man's best friend?
A dog?
Wrong.
Lonely
It's a cat. It's a lonely fucker cat. Because here's the thing.
I mean, ideally, a man's best friend would be a human, but let's
Yeah.
move on.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The reason why I'm saying is because there's 2 lonely fuckers who have friends with a cat. So, that means they have a psychological connection.
Oh my god. See, now he talks about telepathy.
Telepathy. This telepathy sort of instinct of thought bubbles in Garfield is that John telling him that, like, hey, stop being a little whiny bitch and feed me. So therefore, the cat is a master to the human. But this is the other way around because the cat is smart over here, and I'm kind of losing myself on where this is going.
Just fucking.
I think what you're trying to say is like just the genetic history of how we got to cats, essentially.
Yes.
It was a lot of royalty inbreeding, a lot of like strange psychological manipulation, and Robert Zemeckis probably.
Yeah.
So I have 2 questions.
Yeah.
Are we at question time now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
First off, you haven't talked about Alvin and the Chipmunks, have you?
Oh, I'm getting there. Hold on. Oh, I'm getting there. Because here's the thing.
I don't think you're getting anywhere, but continue
getting-
on.
Let him get to, let him explain himself. It gets a little interesting.
Oh, 4 people. That's great.
Oh shit! Oh shit! There's my weird shit. Okay.
Continue, please.
Okay, so the reason why I'm saying this is that like we know that the Garfield Tales of Two Kitties ended around 2007 or 8. I don't really remember when it came
It was
out. 2008.
2008.
There
There
you
we go. Thus started a chain effect with more cats.
Starts
But
with the
therefore, they couldn't do more cats, so they had to change it up a notch. Alvin and Chipmunks. Are you sure? Are you sure it's not just like cats?
I'm
Guys are
very sure.
chipmunks.
I am very
But look
sure.
at the details. Look at the mass details. Like
Alvin, more like Calvin.
See, there we go, Calvin.
Stargaming, I'm
Therefore,
very
that-
sorry for this.
And then Hops. Then Hops happened, which is a cat. Not a rabbit. It's a cat. It's a cat rabbit.
I know some
thing.
biologists who would disagree with you.
Well, here's the thing, buddy. With live action things, they like to manipulate the audience into believing that they're chipmunks or rabbits.
But
No.
someone drew that!
Well, someone made a bad movie. Because I thought it was a sequel to Garfield's origin story.
How?
See, you're not getting it.
Pops the Easter Bunny?
Yes. See, it's actually a cat. You can tell by this photo of him shitting right here that I took. I made him a cat. So he's a cat.
This has been going on for 8 minutes.
You're claiming the Easter Bunny is a cat.
Yes. Yes.
The Easter Bunny.
Hang on,
Yeah.
in his defense, in that same movie, a fucking chicken turned into a rabbit, so you can't judge him that hard.
Yeah.
That's actually true.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just genetic manipulation.
Yeah.
Genetic manipulation, indeed.
He was a cat, now he's a rabbit.
Now let's get back to the theater. Let's get back to the new movie. Cats.
Stargaming, no, he's
Now,
not okay.
Cats is a very
He
interesting
needs to
thing
be put
about
in an
that because
institution.
again, it focuses on here, but also connects to Garfield Tales of Two Kitties because it proves that there's cats in London, and this movie sets in London. I think. I don't know.
What are you talking about?
You don't need to have all of this to have an excuse for cats being in London. I don't need to have
Keep
an
going,
excuse.
So now my purpose why is why I think it's in London because there's some lying little fucker that they stand on, and that only place to have a statue of that is in London. I think.
We'll
I
consider
don't
it.
know. I haven't done my homework on London that much, but if you see where I'm getting at,
I don't.
it's
No, we don't.
It's showing.
Christ.
It's showing something. We're taking into account.
Or put him in an orange vest.
An orange vest, either way could work. Anyway.
I'm gonna have 911 on speed dial.
Oh, don't, please.
I almost
Are you
hear
good?
I guess.
That's it.
I'm not done yet. I never said I was done.
Oh,
Jesus
shit.
Christ.
Alright, I'm done. Bye.
What is your point?
So what was the whole point of the theory?
I can see
It was
where-
gonna be shit.
Oh, okay.
And the only way that can save it is nothing. Yeah.
being a joke, basically.
Being a joke, yeah. Alright, that's all I wanted to.
So, can I say my counterpoint?
Hold up. Welcome down to Sing Stories.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Anyways,
It's been a while, I get it. So,
I can see that.
yeah, we've been gone for what was the last thing we posted on this channel? Was it
For Out of Sync Stories?
no? Well, for
Or
like
in general?
in general.
Week ago?
Yeah, there we go.
Well, technically yesterday, but...
Yesterday. Never mind that. Hi.
Hello, everybody.
Oh my god.
How's it going? Yeah,
So
I
there we go.
agree with that. Start
That's
gaming.
my logic.
So, my counterpoint is, how do you address the actual Broadway version? Because that all predates everything that you're referencing.
Are you sure that wasn't just like Star Wars?
A prequel?
A sequel.
Oh.
What do you mean? Like Star Wars?
So all I just said!
No, you can't say, you know that space opera?
Cat in the Hat
yeah,
was a
what
prequel.
if it's like that?
Cat in the Hat was a prequel, so therefore started the origins for cats. Because here's the thing, cats, the Cat in the Hat, Cat in the Hat did this weird origin thing.
Fuck.
Cat in the Hat did this weird body thing where later on they developed where they got the idea from. I mean, come on, either that or they got lazy and went on DeviantArt in the darkest parts to make sure like, yeah, we can make that into a movie. Oh yeah, it's a musical too. Let's
And
just do that.
I just gotta say,
Yeah.
okay, they're
Yeah.
descendants from Talking Tom, obviously. Alright.
I was gonna say that they were. Okay, so my theory on that was just gonna be that they were just a disturbing descendant of all those Robert Zemeckis motion capture films. But
Probably.
I mean, go off, fam. I guess.
So I take it we're in the cats portion of the podcast.
Yeah.
That's-
I just wanted to start this off.
We've been in that portion.
So, I'm going to let you guys give your thoughts first, and then I can end off.
Yeah.
I'd like to just ask one last question though. Sorry.
Alright, go ahead.
How fucking long did you make that?
Well,
10 minutes.
no.
No, it took 20.
No, okay, here's the story.
Give him some
Here's
credit.
the story about this. So, I was crouched in my room working on this in the morning, and then Marco asked me to take care of the groceries for him, but then he saw me with this mayhem of a mess shit, and then he was like, you know what, I'll let you be, and then he just walked out.
Okay. He was crouched over his bed. All these fucking pictures scattered across the room. He didn't have a shirt on. He looked all sweaty. I walked in, hey, help with the groceries. There he fucking is, looking at me dead in the eye. I'm like, you know what? Not my day.
I'm good.
And then he got mad at me for not doing it because he saw what I was doing.
I like that you even. Put,
I had to process what was fucking going on.
I'm still processing.
I haven't.
You know my
I don't think
pain.
I ever will.
Now, I got a question for y'all. I didn't get to finish my little thing because I got really tired and I knew this was going nowhere. But what do all these movies I talked about have? Like all these weird, shitty CGI characters. What do they
Cats,
all
apparently.
Animal fetish.
have? Okay, alright. Okay, I guess that, okay. Now, what do you think their ratings are when it comes to audiences? Do you think they love it or they hate it?
Piss poor, but they still go see it.
Like audience rating or just
Full
everybody?
honesty, how do you feel about them?
Oh, like how do I feel about them?
Yeah, just full honesty. What's your thought on all of those remakes on just simple classic characters or?
Oh, I thought you meant just animated
now
cat
you're
movies.
kind of getting into more broad
Yeah.
subjects here.
I thought, yeah.
Are
I
we
thought,
talking about remakes or cat-specific CGI movies?
I want to say
or...
specific animalistic characters that are
Alvin Chipmunk-esque movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those. Or what are your thoughts on them? I need to know, because I got something that could actually make sense to this.
They just make them for money. What are you talking about?
Their mentality is nobody wants to see an animated version, so we'll make it look gross as hell and put it next to I don't know, Kevin Smith or something. I don't know.
Exactly.
Fucking whoever.
Yeah, I liked
you
the
mean?
first Alvin and the Chipmunks, but outside of that, all the
this?
movies you listed, sure. Yeah,
Yeah, basically.
they're in that kind of vein.
That
Connection to this.
Yeah.
No, I believe that cats
Okay.
can simply will be shit. So
Okay, I'm
people
gonna be
will probably
honest.
see this more.
I didn't know he had
Yeah.
that.
You know what? I will say this.
It could actually save that movie.
I never thought in a million years I would actually say the Sonic design actually was more appealing.
See, there we go. That's what I was trying to get at. You didn't let me finish. I was gonna say, like, what do we have in common? They're
Where were you
ugly.
getting at? I don't
I was
understand.
gonna say.
I don't think you're getting at anything.
No. I was gonna get at of how all the designs are fucking ugly because, like, let's face it, they're all fucking ugly. Like, even if they try to make them cute and feel, they're gonna be ugly. But just like overall, would you see Sonic the Hedgehog movie now if you saw the cat when you saw the cat trailer?
I'm reserving my thoughts until you guys say everything you want to say.
Would you see the Sonic movie?
Okay, so like here's my thoughts. So like legit, when I was hearing about the production of this film and like it was being released, and I was hearing it was CGI people like doing motion capture for cats. I don't know why, but my mind thought, okay, it's just like, you know, they actually do look like cats, but you know they're, you know, moving around in a humanistic way, and maybe it's like it's like in the scale. I was not thinking literally just humanoids that they plaster the fucking face onto to give you some good old Robert Zemeckis old nightmares.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought when I saw it. It's like what? Okay, when I first heard of it, it happened from Luke. He tweeted something about the cats. I thought, okay, you're just talking about the musical, right? Gio came over to me and said, "Did you see the new trailer?" I said no, and so
And my story about it.
Yeah,
Which
whatever.
made more sense, but then like after, like 12-minute basher about it.
You didn't write any of that down.
I didn't
so
write
after
it
his
down.
train wreck of a story, I actually looked up the trailer and it fucking scared me. And I thought, wait, so they're the size of cat? Why didn't you just make them actual cats? What's the issue?
Furries.
So,
Furries.
have you guys said your piece?
Yeah, I'd say so for the most part. Yeah.
Gio said more than enough.
For background's sake, I've actually seen Cats.
Yeah.
The show. I know what it's about. I know what it is. And I honestly, after seeing the trailer, went, yeah, that's Cats. Because, just to give you background on what the Broadway version is, and let me just say, this is a 9 Tony winning, 12 Tony nominated show. And it is basically 3 acts of people wearing full head-to-toe cat makeup, doing ballet to T.S. Eliot poems. There's pretty much no dialogue in the show. It's all poetry, like almost Shakespeare to music.
Huh.
Are they in London?
They're in their own kind of world, basically. So there's no
Got it.
humans. Humans aren't a thing.
But why the fuck is it big?
Yeah, why is everything
Why
bigger?
is
in
Because
comparison?
that's the art design for the Broadway show. Having seen the trailer, it's pretty much the Broadway version. Even the design, I honestly think it would look worse if they went with more realistic cat designs, because they'd be doing ballet. Could you imagine a more realistic looking
I would have
cat doing ballet for an entire movie?
They wouldn't have to do ballet.
But that's the
they
show.
would've.
That's true.
It would be like Aladdin not having any music. Hold on.
Okay, alright.
It's part of what it is. And I think
yeah.
what they're doing with this movie is they're trying to appeal to the people who like the Broadway version. They're not trying to get a new mainstream audience for it, because then they'd have to make it something that Cats isn't. They're keeping it equally as weird as the Broadway version. And let me just say, I saw the Broadway version. It's probably the weirdest show I've ever seen, hands down.
Yeah, like.
But that's what makes Cats Cats, is that you feel high watching it. You're like, what the fuck am I watching?
This is.
But that's Cats.
I just felt disturbed
That's-
watching that whole thing.
That's very interesting. I was under the impression that like I knew about the weird cat makeup thing, but it was I thought it was a bit more traditional. I guess.
No, it's like, let me even.
So literal T.S. Eliot poems is just the music of the entire.
Yeah, I'll say the music's phenomenal, but it's all based on T.S. Eliot poems.
That's
Broadway.
so fucking weird.
It is the weirdest show ever, and I'm saying that I saw a show about the imagination of a disabled kid. And it was an entire show about that. That was not even half as weird as this. And this is Andrew Lloyd Webber. This is the Broadway version.
See, I don't mind for that.
Actually,
that doesn't
kind
really
of
bother me. It's just like the whole CGI-ist of.
It's the uncanny valley essentially. Whereas this, like, you know, it's actual people in actual cat makeup doing all this stuff. Whereas
See, this,
And I honestly think the reason they didn't use makeup for this movie is because of the cast. And the fact that if they did makeup for every shoot, they would have to spend 8 hours in that room before they even start shooting. And you couldn't get the cast they have to be willing to do that. So they'd rather put that time in post to make them look that way than to have every actor start their day with 8 hours of makeup.
It would benefit my sanity, though.
Yeah.
And most everybody else's, but I guess that's kind of fair.
Sure, half of my furries.
I mean,
might
I
be.
think this could have been the original origin of furries, but this is...
Actually.
Oh,
no,
God, he
that's
knows.
not it. I can go in a full depth about that video later.
Gotcha. Like, actually, when did the Broadway show start?
I think
That
maybe
85?
Started some weird
81.
81.
thing.
So yeah,
Oh,
this isn't a
shit.
new thing. This is something that has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And I also think in terms of a way to make this into a movie, first off, I don't think it really should be a movie. I think it's one of those things where
Yeah.
it's better as a musical.
Mhm.
And I don't think anyone, like, if you go see Cats, you have to know what you're getting into.
Yeah. it
It's
seems
not a
like
normal thing by any stretch. And in fact, like, again, it's all basically just them singing poems. It's like, it's the most bizarre thing ever.
Yeah.
And I don't think a movie can capture that in the same way a musical can.
Yeah, like there's definitely a different feel from seeing a play than, a movie.
In fact, I even said, after I saw the show, if they asked me to direct this, I would have to say no. Because
Yeah,
there's no way I could do that.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like
I could
Yeah.
even direct a musical version of it. Because it's just so weird that, like, there's no way to...
properly adapt that
Exactly.
into, like, a different medium.
Or even the same medium. I don't think I could do it into the same.
That too, honestly, yeah. Like, if you wanted to have something where it's like your own variation on it, it would just be like it doesn't feel the same way, and it's just weird as shit. So
Like-
it's. But
Yeah, he does.
I'm just like it's still so baffling in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
More just the idea of it. Now knowing what it is.
Yeah, I think the idea of it is that they're trying to get people who've seen the Broadway version to see this movie.
Probably. Most likely.
And
Yeah.
even if they are going for mainstream, I think they have to realize that they're doing Cats. It's something like, it was a miracle that it made money on Broadway,
Yeah.
let alone won 9 Tonys.
Yeah.
It's gonna bomb.
I don't know if I'd say bomb. I think it's not going for the typical audience that
Like,
Avengers movie would be going for.
That's actually.
Yeah, I know,
fun.
but just like when it comes to like sort of a musical-esque sort of thing, it's like 50-50 because like they have to get the certain audience, and the audience
Mhm.
that they're getting isn't exactly what they were expecting.
I think it is what they're expecting.
It-
I think they made it knowing that those would be the people who would see it.
I also think it's very kind of interesting you mentioned it's definitely not like an Avengers thing where it's not going for that kind of audience because it's literally being released the same day as last Star Wars film.
Ooh, that's our yeah.
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 But I think it will be good, but it's going to be good by the standards of Cats.
Yeah, of what it is.
If someone who doesn't know what Cats is goes and see it, they're gonna leave the theater being like, what the fuck did I just watch? Because I even, after seeing the actual version, loved going, what did I just watch?
Yeah, essentially, just
Because, like, again, it did, by the end of the movie, or not movie, by the end of the show, I was still like, what was the story? Because it's just
What
poems
is it?
strung together, basically.
really, and not
There's
much
a
dialogue.
story. I want to say there are, like, a handful of actual lines that weren't over music.
Interesting.
And the ones that were lines were typically leading into the next song.
Okay, so it's literally it's like Les Miserables, but not
It's,
miserable.
yeah, that. Well, you know it is pretty miserable. It's the miserable life of street cats.
Oh, okay, so it is.
So the street cats have their own society, basically.
So it is. So it's just Les Mis, but in a more vibrant setting and with cats.
Instead of a French Revolution, it's cat society.
Cool.
And the cats do humanoid human things.
All right. Okay.
Again,
Okay.
I'm not defending the concept. It's the weirdest thing you'll ever see, but I think you have to look at the Cats movie as that.
Yeah.
They're making it to be the weirdest thing.
I guess it's at least accurate then.
Yes.
I think
Again, I don't think I would make it, personally.
No,
I don't think this is the kind of thing that should be adapted to a movie.
It really doesn't seem like it.
But if they are adapting it to a movie, aside from putting the actors all in makeup, I think this is the best way of doing it. And even if you did put the actors all in makeup, man, that would double the time it took to shoot it.
Yeah. But, you know, we'd have less nightmares. at least in my opinion.
I feel like before we just make this a whole cats thing, I think we should move on. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this feels like more of a
in-depth discussion.
Yeah, it's a very
about
in-depth
makeup, which
discussion.
didn't really necessary. It's just like I wanted opinions, like how do you feel about it?
We
It's just
spent-
like, is it weird? It's weird.
Yes.
Let's just move on with
We
that.
spent like almost a half hour talking
We
about
spent
cats.
25 minutes on
So-
it. Let's see, 8 minutes talking about my weird theory, and
It
then
was about 10 by the time
Yeah.
we got
10 minutes about talking about my theory, and then 10 minutes about talking about like in depth about like what cats actually is. I feel like now's the time that we should actually.
For the people who come here and aren't
Yeah.
wanting to
I
talk
mean, the
about
bright side, I gained 4 people watching, like hearing about my dumbass
Aye.
theory. One person think I should go get a counselor, but that's fine.
Maybe you should have listened to him.
Going to counseling isn't really gonna help.
So anyway.
I don't know. Anyways, what have we been up to?
Yeah.
Nick, you want to go first?
Sure. I mean, I guess I probably should, considering the lack of transcrafters, because I was on track to put an episode out every 2 weeks, and then I got slammed with about 6 weeks of 8-hour days working on other stuff. So I had a normal freelance gig that I do every year, and that was about 5 weeks. And then I picked up another consulting job that was taking up a lot of my time. And on top of that, we're in pre-production for a film that we're not talking about yet.
Yeah, it's a secret.
So it's been stupidly busy, but I actually spent a fair amount of yesterday working on episode 3. So,
That's cool.
but mainly it's just been work stuff. But work stuff not in the typical person's thing.
Yeah.
I've been here doing video consulting work stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And some of the stuff I've been doing too. Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, so that's what I've been up to.
What about you?
Me, okay, so, I want to, I feel that, I just want to explain more about, like, why we haven't been able to. It's just that a lot of school stuff went down that I had to deal with, so that's why I couldn't, like, schedule anything for this podcast. And what if I was actually going to have a time to just, like, talk about Endgame, or just, like, something like that, or just, like, anything, like, what's their plan for the summer and all that. But, as you can tell, that didn't happen due to my schedule after, like, after college and all that. So, what have I been doing? I went to Phoenix Fan Fusion, so that was really fun. I enjoyed that. I met a lot of cool people there. A lot of giant like cosplayers, which is like a giant Hulk bus.
They're cosplaying as giants? That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
cosplaying as giant. There was like
Giant versions of themselves.
Yeah, it was weird. It's just
Yeah.
like big toes, realistic, like ooh, and then that's it. It was just weird.
Took a picture of
But
it.
awesome people I met. I'm really happy that I got to meet them. After that, I went to Michigan for like 2 weeks, so I was long gone from that because my summer vacation just already like started like nothing. Just like, all right, get ready, prep for con, go to Michigan for 2 weeks, and then come back and do other personal projects I need to work on, which I'm not telling any y'all who are watching, only 4 people. I'm not telling y'all what I got planned.
Oh.
You know what I killed.
They don't know me.
You don't know where I've been, who I've killed, who I've seen.
Yeah, but I want to say that's it for me right now. Luke.
I have been doing basically no traveling and have been spending most of my time working, doing college assignments for my college courses so I can get ahead on that, and trying to get a short film done before I leave, which is slowly progressing, I guess. It's going somewhere, I guess. I don't know. It's whatever. But other than that, mainly just been watching a bunch of movies, honestly, and been doing some more writing on that kind of stuff, which has been fun. Which has been very fun, and I got to see a lot of new stuff coming out. Stuff we might be talking about in the future later. That's going to be interesting. Anyways, that's been my life. Not really much of anything at all of interest.
Oh, me. Okay.
Yeah, you.
Well, me, I've just been doing some college stuff. Obviously applying for college, working on some personal projects, and just really trying to get a job, which is not easy at all. So, yeah, like Luke, I haven't been traveling a lot, but I've been playing a lot of games, and one of them involved Luke.
Oh yeah, you told me
Want to
about
get into that, Marco? You want to explain yourself on
Yeah.
what you did to Luke?
Yeah, when I was on a little.
Why'd you say it like
I
that?
don't know.
What are you doing?
You know what you did.
You know what you did to Luke?
Is this an expose now? Anyways.
Well, I guess it's truth's out there. So during my frustrating job search, I decided to dig out an old game, Fractured Butthole. Yes, and
South Park game. Also.
Should probably see a doctor about that.
yeah, but it's fine. It'll heal. The body heals itself.
God says when.
And I was gonna play again. I thought, who should I play as? I don't want to be me again because I already know how my story went.
Yeah.
I thought, why not Luke?
Yeah.
What if I just play as Luke?
So
then I made
yeah.
Luke. I was thinking, what kind of hero is he gonna be? And then this one mission where I go to the church and meet these priest pedophiles, and it gives you a little outfit, a little cross, and I said, yeah, you know what? That's Luke. And I called him the choir boy.
I don't know how to feel about any of this right now.
Well, you're a great character. Your outfit barely changed, except for your mask.
So apparently you look like a choir boy.
I guess I'm a choir boy now.
I mean, we'll give you a mustache and. Well, no, we didn't give him a mustache. We gave him a.
Yeah, you gave me the kind of
Yeah.
slightly hairy chin.
Last time we saw you, you had that, and also we gave you beautiful eyelashes.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Some long ass eyelashes. Yeah, I don't know what happened with there because we just gave him long ass eyelashes.
Well, it just fit for the whole thing. That's the thing. It's just like it stayed on him, and that's it.
I say it's accurate.
Yeah.
But
Just to answer a question, Jay, for you, if you ever get 1,000 subscribers, what would you do?
Jeez.
Well, geez, since we have 5,000 subscribers, I don't know what we would do if we drop down to 1,000.
He'd probably cry.
I'd bathe myself in mayonnaise and live stream it, and then play a video game in the bathtub.
okay.
Yeah.
How long
So that's
can-
what he would do. I'd probably
That's
just,
what I would do if I
How
I'd
did.
long
probably
can I
just
play-
say go for it.
How long-
Yeah, you do that.
How long could you play AC Odyssey with a toaster in the bathtub?
Balance it on your shins.
If he drops it, he lose.
You die in real life.
You die in the
What would you do, Marco?
Oh, I'd probably be like, fucking A, and just cry.
Like, time to make more transcrafters then.
We just gained 5,000, so that's pretty cool.
I'd forfeit my faith in the YouTube system and probably just go about becoming a monk somewhere. I don't know.
You become the choir boy.
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, come on!
It would work.
I mean,
You could fight crime.
I wouldn't.
You can find your...
I wouldn't be a fucking Catholic monk. I'd be like a Buddhist monk or something like that. That'd be more
that's
fun.
cool.
And
That's
also-
actually cool.
You can still do it.
Please take your friend in the yellow shirt. Please help him.
It's fine. It was a scam.
It doesn't say take him where, it just says take him. Like, kidnap
Take me
him.
where? God!
Raphael.
Like, just steal him.
Take me
He
where?
needs help.
Stop it.
Get some help.
God, that whole thing was just a bit that kind of gone too
What
far.
a motto for the podcast. Stop. You
Get
need
some-
help.
Get some help.
Stop it. Get some
Man.
McDonald's. It's one of my favorite videos.
Do I kind of regret it? Not really.
Alright.
I spent time on that. I duct tape everything.
So, but that's what we've been up to. So,
Yeah, that's what we've been all up to now. That's kind of been our lives. That's been essentially since last time we had ousting stories to now. That's been our lives, which is interesting.
Alright.
It's not been much apparently, except for you because you're always having stuff going on. So
Yeah, like a full list
my
back over
June
here.
was bonkers. I was
Explain.
doing 12 to 16-hour work days for 2 weeks straight. Then immediately came back to do 8 hours a day of editing for 3 weeks.
Ooh.
So,
dang, that's the thing. I don't know how you do it. I wonder if it's the Mountain Dew that allows you to live.
it's like one of those things where, like, it helps me live in the short term, but it takes, like, a day off my life. Like, can I drink or something? Like,
Hey, Margo, how
You
many
doing-
boxes are over there?
like
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And like 4 of those are already empty.
Oh, joy.
We're nearing the double digits.
Yeah.
Uh,
And how many
Wait,
cans
and
are...
that's not counting
Hold
the
up,
ones that's
hold up.
thrown away, believe it or not.
Oh, well, you know.
Alright, so if there's like... How many boxes are there?
I don't know, maybe like 7 or 8.
Alright, so if there's 7 boxes now, each like box has like 12, so... Give me a sec. Let's see.
like 12. I hope they all do have 12 when I buy them. It's like,
That'd be a bit shitty, yeah. It's like,
this one only has 6. What?
Hey, you bastards!
they scammed me of my money.
How
Yeah,
dare
I
you?
shouldn't be helping out with that, but did you count the bottles?
Oh, hold on. 12
No.
times
Oh
7.
yeah, shit, you're
so,
right.
by now you have 84. So if all those, like if you had 7 boxes, you had 84 cans of Mountain Dew. Now, let's see.
Make it 89 since there's also the bottles as well.
Alright, 80. Let's
And those are the only bottles I've had.
Okay, hold on. Let's try to do math here. This is math time, everybody. So, like, you had 89 Mountain Dew. You have 89, you had 89 cans. You had them.
Well, some of them are still in there.
Yeah.
See, that's
Had/have.
See, that's the scary part, because I'm just afraid. Actually, just the other day, I saw
Okay.
this thing, about soda, that, like, if you have soda a day, it can, like, really hurt your
Oh yeah,
system.
absolutely. It's horrible for you.
So
You
I'm
should
gonna-
never do that.
Yeah, you
Nick,
should.
someone's gonna poke a hole in you and Mountain Dew's just gonna come out.
What's...
It's just like a paper cup just.
No, I like to,
Yeah, just
what
like-
the fuck?
I like to think like a situation where it's like, I don't know, like it's like a mugging situation, gets stabbed, and then suddenly like all the Mountain Dew comes out. It's like, what'd you expect? And then you just kind of take the money back and walk away.
So, you had 89
It's his new
cans.
natural defense. He just squirts Mountain Dew at people.
Alright, hold on.
It like with all like the acid in it, it just like starts like
Let's see.
corroding their skin.
Oh my god.
It just like compounds.
And you have, like, let's see, there's, like, 3 boxes left. 3 boxes left, and
In progress. Yeah.
in progress, yeah. So in total, it's like, now this is just a guess, like 36 cans left. Something like that.
Probably about.
So let's minus that by 9. You had 53 Mountain Dews. Like, how old is this actually?
See, but I moved the decimal over 5.3. So
Oh.
I'm doing pretty well.
Oh, yay!
I guess that kind of also depends on like how long
Yeah,
these
like,
boxes have been there.
Yeah,
too.
how long have they been there?
Exactly.
A week? A month? 2 months?
how long has it been
Yeah,
there?
exactly. Like if it's
5 years?
A day? You never know.
like who would know? Who would
Nick, I need
like,
to know, like, how many have you... Okay,
I've
just...
had 5.3. Like I said.
0.3.
Well, that was his math. You know, he just moved the decimal over at the end. It's
Raphael.
5.3.
Hold on, just...
Is the first time alright, man? You doing good? 53. Okay, yeah.
My
yeah.
bad. I did the reversing by accident, so...
Oh, okay, that's
So,
why.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, 53 cans.
5.3 cans.
It's not 5.3!
If you space it out.
I
You know,
just
if you
thought-
believe there's decimal there, then yeah,
Yeah.
5.3.
See, you're not seeing it there. It's a really tiny
It's
decimal.
5.3!
Those new
Yeah,
iPhones.
53... Wait, no! Ah!
Yeah, those new iPhones, they always hide the dots. They're there, though.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
This is a very interesting day.
Anyone see... so...
Angelical cats, angelical cats.
Angelical guys.
See, I'm not at this point anymore, because here's the thing. It's 53 cans gone, and you have, like...
5.3.
Let's not dwell on the 3 cans Nick is drinking, alright?
It does not matter the amount. It just matters that there's a shitload of Mountain Dew going around.
There's a
All I
reasonable
just
amount of
know-
Mountain Dew going around.
Let's
yes.
just know if he
Kidney
stops
stones
drinking them,
or
Yeah.
not.
he may stop.
But then again, like I'm not one to judge, considering I have like a root beer every day most of the time. So I mean,
Oh,
fair
okay.
enough.
So I don't want to do math there.
Let us not be the ones to judge. Let us just be the ones to accept.
Yeah, that is true. I was just curious and just like...
And just
Oh,
to
man.
throw this out here. Luke, you'll see this soon, that Flagstaff's a pretty small town.
Yeah,
But
is.
it's a Pepsi town. There's
Mm.
places that serve Pepsi about every 100 feet.
Yeah, yeah. Is it the same for like Coke or is it
Nope,
Okay.
it's a
So it's
Pepsi
just-
town.
Wait,
just a
serious?
Pepsi?
Yeah.
Like
Just
Just-
Pepsi?
There's like 2
Okay.
places in all Flagstaff where you can get Coke.
Hmm.
Everywhere else, it's Pepsi and Mountain Dew. Every
Okay.
100 feet.
so
Oh,
essentially
then never mind. It's not a problem for you then.
okay. So that's
No wonder
interesting.
you like
I'm thinking about it now. So basically, it's just like the
I
reverse.
thought it was
of-
just a... Sorry about this. Sorry,
No,
continue.
you go.
Alright, I thought
No, boys.
you were going to lead to a big problem, just like, see my problem here? There's only Pepsi. But then he said there's Mountain Dew too, then like,
Pepsi owns Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
there's no problem that anymore. It's just
That's
like,
what I'm saying. I'm saying that that's what you'll.
Yeah, but
realize.
it's not a problem for you. For him, it's a problem.
For it's. I mean, I'll just find places to get like root beer, other places. Like the root beer I have isn't like canned stuff. It's like a specific kind.
Well, Target, you could probably find some. I'm talking about like fast food places.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Where it's
okay.
gonna have Pepsi.
That Target will
Essentially-
definitely have, like, stuff there.
Essentially, like the way I'm seeing it is like my theater does like mostly Coke products, so it's just gonna be like the reverse of that, because they have like Sprite, but
Ooh,
but not
Harkins might have Coke.
most likely. I mean,
Really?
Wait, there's a Harkins there?
That's the only movie theater in Flagstaff. It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
Harkins on the other side of Flagstaff.
Oh, dang.
it's so
Granted,
great.
that's a 15-minute drive.
I love
to
it.
Flagstaff.
Oh,
It's still like,
there
love
you
it.
go.
if you're going to the movies in Flagstaff, it's like, ooh, you go? Okay, well, good for you. It's like, it's not like I'm going to the movies. It's like fuck, do I go to the movies? Well, let me check my gas. Okay, can I
Or-
account for the time? Okay, I guess.
or if you're in my situation, you just kind of go because it's work and it's free, so I don't really have to care about like I need to pay for gas, I need to pay for tickets. Fuck, I can't do this. It's too much money because I'm on a freaking college wage. But since it's free, it's just like cool. I'ma go. At least for me,
Yeah.
because I'm kind of just like at some points I literally just watch things because I need to see something, and am very bored with my life. Like my idea to watch yesterday, just out of nowhere, I was just like, I kind of just feel like watching it because I don't have anything better to do.
You did post that. I did see that in your story. I thought you were just like being mean about the film. Just like, I have nothing else to do. Like, ooh, it's got a sting. But then like right after, you said it was a good movie. So like,
I saw I actually really loved yesterday. I get your criticism though. It
Yeah.
makes sense.
It was just a lot of it kind of came down to it's very weird to me that they got that director to make that film, because it doesn't seem like the sort of thing he would make.
Mm-hmm.
And you can kind of even see it because there's very strange coverage and like editorial decisions, and
Yes.
it's like this kind of looks like just a fantasy kind of rom-com, but it has like these Dutch angles and sort of alternative like media choices.
There are some moments where it's kind of weird. It's like feels like a normal scene, then super stylistic, then kind of a normal scene.
Yeah,
I was okay with that, but it was weird.
it was
Alright.
very weird.
it was just an interesting film.
Yeah, I just thought it was really funny though that for the entire time, like, just because the Beatles don't exist, like all these like major companies and like world events just randomly either don't happen or happen. Like, for one, like there's the Coke doesn't exist anymore.
I love that Coke thing.
And I was kind of like, okay, that's funny because it's a reference to their song, but also like, so did Coke just go bankrupt, or they literally don't exist anymore?
No.
Well, I'm guessing it's a world where whoever made Coke just was like, I'm going to farming instead. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Coke never happened.
I feel I'd have to see like when Coke just like was starting out then, because
That's true, and it could have been the thing where they started got bankrupt.
I guess. Then again, I also just get the feeling that they just didn't think about it all that much, and they're just like, that'd be a funny gag, and
Mhm.
yeah. But the one thing that's weird, it's kind of funny, but just weird to me, is the fact that they go to New York and the World Trade Center is still there,
Oh, yeah.
and it's like, all right, you do you, man, but
9/11 never happened.
the Beatles did 9/11, I guess.
Their music inspired.
Oh my god, no.
And moving on.
You know what?
Well,
Actually,
I mean, come on.
No more conspiracy
Actually,
boards.
okay, so there's one thing that I'm kind of surprised they didn't even mention. It's sort of weird, but like, Beatles did the song Helter Skelter, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's sort of weird, because then I feel like it would have been, that could have been something they could have at least mentioned as a joke, but then they didn't, and it's like, that's very strange.
It
'Cause,
was
like,
more
that-
like a missed opportunity.
I don't know if there's a missed opportunity, I get why they probably didn't reference that, but I'm just sort of, like, of all the things that they have, it's like, oh, that didn't happen. I'm surprised they never mentioned that specifically. But then again, it is a light-hearted film, so that is probably why. It's just,
Probably, yeah.
I just would have loved a scene where it's just like, the main character's like, oh man, this is such a weird situation, like, getting, like, this occult fame, it's almost like being Charles Manson or something, haha, it's like, who's that? It's like, oh no! He doesn't exist anymore, lol, boot him tish, and then just cut to next scene and never mention that ever again.
Alright.
Ugh.
Trying to think. So, let's see.
You wanted to talk shit about Toy Story, right?
I wouldn't say talk shit, it's just like how I really feel about it. So Toy Story 4 came out around like last month, and did any of you have like a connection to it?
I did.
Define connection.
Like, you know, like a child, like it was part of your childhood and like you enjoyed it as a kid, or is it more like it was there for you? That's it.
I would have enjoyed it as a kid. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Would I have? I would have. Yeah.
All right. I kind of have like, it's one of the few times where I actually do have a genuine connection to it as a kid, because like Pixar was like the thing, for the most part, that was like my introduction to film. So like Monsters Inc., Toy Story, that sort of thing. So I kind of do. Yeah.
And I'll say my perspective on it is that didn't really like it. Well, that's fair. My thing with it is that, and I already said this on the JP podcast, so I'll kind of abbreviate it, is that for me, I see Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 as the Toy Story trilogy, and this is just kind of an added thing that's more of a Woody film for me than a Toy Story
more
film.
as an epilogue sort of thing, just like
Kinda,
right
yeah.
after that
Actually,
ends.
yeah, that's a good
It's
way.
more of an, because here's the thing: it's short, it was kind of half baked, and the people who like Key and Peele, the people who were just like the two stuffed animals, I always felt that was just like Marco said before, like told me it was just like an add-on, because at first, like around the idea, like they were like hip.
Around the time they were like a really big thing, and it just felt a little nostalgic for me. Yeah, but still, it's like, all right, you two are here.
Like there weren't
Fair
really connection. It didn't really feel like complete. And the reason why I wanted to like have your guys' opinion on Toy Story is to tell you that I don't like Toy Story at all.
Toy Story as a whole, or Toy Story 4?
As a whole.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, I always felt like, okay, I'm gonna sound like really douchey because I know like a bunch of people love Toy Story and all that, just like the franchise, like, oh, it grew to me as a child, or just like like, oh, I remember when that one scene, it made me cry. I will admit, one scene did make me cry at Toy Story 3. I will admit, I'm not saying that like I didn't, like I totally did.
And I've held it over his head ever since.
Yeah. Well, you cried when that big dinosaur died in Jurassic World.
Continue onward. So what? So what's your criticism of Toy Story?
My criticism is that it always felt like I had to watch it. It's just like, more like people say, like, oh, you gotta watch it. Like, it's the best thing ever. Like, an interesting story. Like when you have like your favorite film, like you're intrigued by it, you're never tired of it. You always wonder what's gonna happen next. For me, I never connected to it whatsoever. I always thought it was boring, and I felt like, okay, how long is this? Because like I don't have time for this. This is getting really boring for me.
I'm 5 years old. I got Legos to do. Come on.
Yeah, because like I don't want to know that toys are alive. It's kind of creepy. They could be watching me. They know secrets about me. They know everything about me. That's a scary part.
Who knows what they do at night?
See, exactly. And it's just a big hassle to see how it was. I'm trying to like think on how I truly feel about it, because I don't really like have a big connection to it. Like I get it, like the toys have gone this great adventure just for their kid, and just like once like Toy Story 3 happened, of just like to people like the greatest send off, because like it was the end of an era for them, and Andy moving to college and all that. For me, it was just like, you guys done yet? Like, is it still here? I thought in reality half of you would be gone and destroyed. Because if I know some kids will like, some will take care of the toys, but some would like, lose it, scratch them, have marks on them, and just see them like, whoa, this guy used to have an arm.
Fuck happened.
Fuck happened. Or just like mysteriously lose the toy. You know what I mean? And it's just due to the parents just like, yeah, this thing's gross. I'm throwing it away.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Like in full reality, like that.
When you do get little bits of that, but I do get what you're saying.
Yeah. It's just never really appealed to me of how like, all right, this is a movie about some kid growing up. I'm just glad he's not some weirdo thinking that he'll always be a kid. I like that. I like how it's not that.
He ain't no Toys R Us kid no more.
Yeah.
So Jose, something you brought up that I kind of want to go a little bit deeper then on is that you mentioned kind of the setup of it for you was that people were always saying like, hey, you need to see this, you need to see this. Do you think that could have tainted your expectations for it?
Did it feel sort of like kind of a more or less just you had to out of obligation, not
had to obligation, because like my dad put it on, because like here's the thing, our dad is a big fan of like Pixar, Disney, all that, and he thinks all they do is great. And like when I first saw it, I was like, this is weird. That's it. Like, to be nice, I said it was a good thing. It was a good film and all that. I liked it. And then, like, I will admit, did have some of the toys growing up, and although when Toy Story 3 came around and all that, I will admit for that part. But it's just, like, again, there's no exact connection to it, because, like, here's the thing. Like, for the Toy Story, you're not, like, you're supposed to pretend like, you know, you're not there and then be these characters. It was a bit hard for me because, like, he's a cowboy. That's a spaceman. What do I do?
Sure.
What's the point of this? Because, like, it doesn't make any sense. Just like, you're supposed to be like this little cowboy doll that just like, yeehaw, I'm a cowboy doll, raggedy with like arms and the plastic hands and all that, and I can keep on messing with the little wire, the little drawstring box thing, just like, oh, look at me, I'm a cowboy. Then you got Buzz, just like some plastic thing that if you throw in the bathtub, it's gonna
kill
not
you.
gonna work. Because I remember you had that when we were very little too.
I
You remember the blue one?
Yeah. I had a blue blood.
You drowned it.
Oh shit! Fuck.
So
I
Luke,
don't
what are your
remember
thoughts?
that.
You drowned it.
I'm in very, very conflicting feelings on that right now.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Well, this is part of the discussion.
I know.
That's how I actually feel about it.
That's fair. That's
I don't
fair.
see it as a big, great thing.
I kind of had the benefit of not having it be out of obligation, just more because I saw it one morning when my parents were just like, put on, you know, movie for kids or whatever, and I just was like, what is this really cool thing with like the cowboy and spaceman? And so like I didn't really have any preconceived notions going into it because honestly by that point I only saw like 2 other films in my life, so I was like pretty easily invested in it when I first saw it. But I think there's still a lot that I personally kind of still even like about it now. It's just like for one, like it was the thing that I found out who Tom Hanks was. So even when he talks normally, I'll always associate him as Woody. Like even if he's just like, I don't know, in fucking Da Vinci Code is just like talking about, you know, hieroglyphs or whatever, I'll be like, Woody's talking about hieroglyphs, ha ha ha. Like in the small tiny child part of my mind, while I'm still trying to take this movie seriously. But
You got it.
yeah, and it's just, I don't know, like at the time it was a really fun concept for me because it's just like, you know, it's trying to hide from like showing that you're basically sentient sort of thing, and just like these fun adventures of like going. It's kind of like sort of the same thing I think people got out of like Rugrats when they were first watching. It's like these very like adventures on a very small scale throughout these like, you know,
Daily basis.
yeah, daily basis stuff that's like made into like a dangerous sort of big adventure sort of thing.
For them, it's like a whole new world for them. Where reality is just like, I don't know, they're just messing with teddy bear, and it's just like for them, it's like their king or lord, savior.
But like,
So Jesus Christ, what are you talking about?
yeah, Angelica just like puts it on a cross, like, you know, die for your sins.
He's a warning.
It's actually funny you mention that, because the one thing I actually kind of find interesting more as I get older is just the weird subtext of these films, because like it wasn't really until like Toy Story 4 that they really kind of brought this up, but like the mentality of the toy and child relationship is kind of fucked up. It's essentially, you know, you'll be played with this person for like a short portion of your basically like eternal life, and then you'll just be cast aside, and maybe possibly another person will find you and love you, but most likely you'll just kind of go to the gutter, essentially.
Or just like end up in the trash and then burn alive.
Yeah,
and try
or
to escape, just like Toy Story 3.
but no matter what, even if you find another like person that'll love you, they'll throw you away again at some point.
Yeah.
Which is like, the more I thought about it, like I didn't think about it at all as a kid, because the only thing I was thinking was like Buzz Lightyear's flying with Woody.
I got a fun topic actually. But
I would
finish up my
I just want to finish up. Sorry.
And then I'll have a note to kind of end it off from Kenny for.
But, and it was so funny because I never really brought that up. Like, you know, there's aspects of it, but like Toy Story 4 was the only one that felt like they kind of addressed that with, well, but like it's sort of spoilery, so I won't really get into it. But that was kind of why I enjoyed
it's been
Toy
out
Story
for
4.
a couple of weeks now, so I really doubt that anyone would.
Yeah, but probably just to refrain still.
Alright.
Yeah,
out of courtesy.
still some people will see it.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who have movies they want to see but can't really get to it because life, which I don't have one, so.
So what I'll kind of add to the conversation is, even rewatching them after I was a kid, because when I was a kid, I was attached. I think my brother was much more into the Toy Story movies than myself. But after Toy Story 3, I remember I rewatched the other two. And I'll say, from that kind of perspective of not watching them as, per se, like the child mentality, I still think what they do for animation is fantastic.
Oh, it's
Especially
spectacular.
from the first one was what it did with CG animation, and even Toy Story 4. It's not my favorite Toy Story, but the animation, holy shit.
It's got to be the best looking Pixar film so far.
Yes, yeah. I remember talking to you about that, like when we saw like Toy Story 4.
Yeah.
You know, like,
What do you think we're talking about? Yes.
no, just like it was one of the movies. It was either 3 or 4 that I kind of talked about how like they had like good animation to like making like all the like look at Woody's head like real plastic or just like the cloth and just like everything. Yeah. But the one thing I did really wish is just like, I don't know, like show me like a little bit of wear and tear, like scratch on the plastic or something. Because if I know like toys, like you know they're gonna get those invisible scratches that you can feel but not really see.
That's true. They do look a bit too pristine.
They look too new. And like if I know like if I know something about like being a kid, of like you know just like having toys, like eventually you're gonna have like a crayon mark or something on them.
Yes.
Or just like anything. Like I mean, come on, I'm not wrong.
Give anything to a kid and it will kind of get...
It will get dirty. It eventually will get dirty. It'll smell, have a weird stain that you can't get rid of.
The fuck this kid doing to a teddy bear?
I was like,
see?
Well, that's the adult teddy bear.
I was gonna say, like, threw up on it or just like dropped in the food or something.
I thought something else. Already.
No. Oh, and I'm the weird one here. God.
What the fuck goes on in your guys' mind?
I don't know.
I'm talking about you threw up or just like you had glue and just like put some googly eyes on it, like more eyes, and then it's just stuck in there as that weird like crust, like that weird.
Yeah, like the
solid fur piece. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah,
see?
Like I've had that with like my Wii remotes all the time.
There we go.
But then just kind of wrap it up. The other thing is, I appreciate a lot of the complexity for a kids movie that's kind of introduced into the Toy Story.
Yeah, exactly. That's also one of the other things I kind of. It's more again like in retrospect, not as much when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know.
So I'll say for what it does for film, I definitely really appreciate those movies.
Yeah. Definitely. You said you wanted to go on to another topic, right?
Oh, yeah. As I also connect what you kind of talked about firstly, what kind of changed your perspective on life? Like, what was the one thing that kind of really, like, bashed your world as a kid? Like, the one thing that really, like...
As a kid.
Oh, man,
yeah.
I was like, well, bashed my world as a adult, I could name a million things.
Yeah, just like, what was the very first thing that kind of, like, changed your aspect on something? Like, your parents always tell you to do this. Marco, I know what you're going to say, because you always talk about this. But
can I say it?
If you want to, like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to ask, like, Nick or
I guess,
I'll go at the end, because I need to say about it.
I guess the first mental bomb that was dropped to me as a kid was the concept of death, and this only came to me after watching an episode of Kids Next Door. I don't know what the fuck happened that made me think about, wait, I'm gonna die one day.
What was the episode, Marco?
I think it was the one where the leader kid turned to an adult and then he woke up like, wait, that was fake. Am I fake? Am I gonna die one day? and then the rest of the day I was thinking, oh my god.
You're gonna die.
Do I really matter in the world?
Oh, gee.
I started thinking like, oh wait, this is a big galaxy. Do I really? Am I just a speck? Oh my god.
It's a really big galaxy. That's a great childhood thought. It's like, I'm so insignificant in the universe.
I was looking at my hands for 20 minutes straight.
What am I but flesh controlled by a conscience?
Jesus, ain't that a
Will
movie?
people remember me?
Like, will you be known as a saint or known as, like, an asshole?
Or anything at all.
Yeah, that's the scary part.
Yeah, that was a bit... I got over it over time.
You accepted it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna die.
Honestly, that's kind of a good transition into what I had. I was gonna do something similar to yours, but I have another one that I just remembered. I think, I don't know at what point I kind of realized this, but I had the thought of every kid has the point of like, why do people not understand me or whatever, or some stupid shit like that. And I kind of thought about it, it's like, well, I mean, you only live in your conscience. You have nobody else's conscience that you can live in, so really the only person you could ever fully understand at all is yourself, because you don't know people's lives. And then that was fucking weird.
Poetry snap.
What was that? Oh, I was confused.
Which, it was weirdly terrifying at first, because then it was just like, what if I don't even understand myself, though? This shit's fucked, I hate it. And
Therapy.
Oh, yeah.
if only that helped. much, honestly. Not saying in general, I mean just for me. Anyways.
I can say I had two. Two of those. I'll do with the first one when I was like very little, around, I want to say 9 or 11. It was around
Okay.
that. And this one alien movie came out. It was called Paul with Seth Rogen.
Oh my god.
I remember that, yeah.
Now here's the thing about that movie. I already told you a little bit about that, but here's the thing. Recently, my dad got the movie again. I was like, oh yeah, I remember like thinking about that movie yesterday. But then, the more depth I went into it, I realized like, oh shit, I had a crisis when I was little about that. Because here's the thing. If you don't know what Paul the Alien Thing movie is, it's about like these two guys who are like UFO fans. They find this alien.
They storm Area 51, you know.
Yeah, fun stuff.
From what I remember, it basically was like an origin of the Area 51 jokes.
It was. It definitely was. And the funny thing is that there was like they had to stop at this one place and they met these religious people. And there's this like one the alien kind of talked about. Well, the woman kind of talked about, like, you know, her religious aspect and all that, and then went, oh yeah, what about me? Then, like, the alien, and she freaked out, and then the alien kind of showed her the whole universe about the monkey, like, the alien fucking the monkey. And that one part made me think about, like, what am I? Am I just...
Am I the byproduct of an alien humping a monkey?
That was it. That whole aspect just changed my life. Just like, what am I?
How does that
Is
work?
everything I believe up to this point a fucking lie?
It just changed my whole aspect on it because, like, I didn't know what to think. Because, like, if I told my parents about it, they'd be like, really, jeez, we gotta deal with this. And, like, they won't give me a solid answer. I know them. They will never give me a solid answer.
No, you're not the byproduct of an alien fucking a monkey.
It was also a religious thing, too.
An answer like that?
God,
that
no.
and a religious thing, too. It's just like, you know, like, what if it is that or something?
What if it's like it didn't really convert to atheism, like all at once. It was like it just sort of made me think, wait, is this real?
Yeah, it's like, how the fuck does that work?
Yeah, that was my thing. Like, how does that work? And then I had to think about it hard. It's like I didn't know what to do, and I wanted to tell my parents that, but just like I know them, like really, it's just like, you know, they won't exactly give the answer. It was just like, you know, like we're going to church. Like, oh no.
Oh, damn it. I don't want to listen to the priest's life story. Come on.
And the priest says, and then God had the alien fuck the monkey on the fourth day, and that's
that was like the scary part of me.
The next, how it all worked.
The next thing was actually, I feel pretty dumb about this, but I'm going to say it was in freshman year of high school, I had this computer class, and it was this website showing the population, and I didn't know like how big the population was, and after seeing that on the big screen, like how many people lived, how many people died, I thought about every stupid movie I think about when it comes to apocalyptic shit, just more like, we're gonna run out of food, we're gonna run out of air, and like that whole like day, I got so depressed because reality broke down on me again, just like, oh no, we're gonna die, we're fucked.
Wow, humanity will waste away at some point.
What if that goes to zero?
What if...
I even thought of ways how I even thought of a dumb way like, we need to even out the field, we need to get rid of something.
That's how Thanos was created.
Oh my god, you were Thanos.
Confirmed.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
If I can assemble the gems.
I thought about like,
In
if I can
singular
make
gauntlet.
something to destroy half the population.
Okay, I know how to ease my panic attack. I just need all 6 gems, and I'll go from there.
Can I
I love Thanos in a computer
I
class.
never thought
From
about
the
that.
universe population.
I
being
never
like,
thought about that
I
so
have to do
much. Oh
something.
my god.
Wow.
No, that's how MCU Thanos happened. Yeah, that's great.
He just went in computer class and looked like, we're fucked.
Can I just add something on that?
I didn't think about genocide. It was just more of just like, how do I plan this out?
But, okay, continue
That's a
on.
lot of that's a lot of responsibility you put on your shoulders. Holy
I-
shit.
14-year-old boy.
Yeah.
Luke,
I was
go.
gonna say I had a similar a situation happen to me at some point where I was shown like a population clock, but my first thought was not we should even out the population. I was kind of just like, I mean, I guess that's just sort of life.
Your second thought was how do we even out the population?
Yeah, then
Now, what
Of
if we
course,
put
of
all
course.
half people on the moon? Oh, then the moon would be fucked. Oh.
we should take the human race and push it somewhere else.
Yeah, that was such my idea.
Oh Jesus.
Okay, so for one, we found out that Gio has confusing thoughts about the existence of humanity and also would like to commit mass genocide in order to have a half population.
By collecting all the Fruity Pebbles.
Thank you.
See, technically, if Thanos banged a monkey, he'd be an alien fucking a monkey.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Because, like, trust me, if you go watch Paul again, you'll, like, and see, like, a 12-year-old kid watching a rated R movie, which was rated R.
I was gonna say, I was pretty sure it was rated R.
It was rated R. I checked. I'm probably gonna watch it after this podcast to see, like, what was the one thing that changed my life forever, and I'll see, like, wow, there it is. That's Seth Rogen in a CGI suit fucking, humping another CGI person, or it's just full CGI. I don't know. But either way, that changed my life.
A monkey.
Anyway, so then the one for me.
Oh, sorry about that.
Let's see what Nick
Oh
has
shit,
to
I'm
offer.
sorry, man.
Now I gotta top that. I gotta top the realization that I'm a supervillain. I gotta figure out how to beat that.
I am Thanos. Fuck.
Oh, shit.
Anyway. So mine's not as dramatic.
Oh, okay.
It was,
Fair
and
enough.
I've been trying this whole time to remember what movie it is. I remember
Or
I had this
anything.
with Romeo and Juliet, but I can't remember the original movie that made me realize that.
Was Leonardo
Was I was
DiCaprio?
watching a movie with my dad, and the movie just didn't have a happy ending, and I was like, "What is this?"
Aw, dang.
And I was like, "Wait, sometimes things don't have a happy ending."
Ah, dang.
Well,
And then like whenever I heard like, hey, then like I don't know, a certain amount of time later, I was like, so what's this whole Romeo and Juliet thing? And my dad broke down the story, and I was like, yeah, and then what happened? Oh, that's the end? Wait. So back to this. So they fall in love, they get married, but she pretends to die. He kills himself because of that, and then that causes her to kill herself. Am I getting this right? Okay. And then it ends.
That's how it kind of goes.
Oh, and like just that kind of realization of like, oh, sometimes things don't have a happy ending.
I'm trying to wonder what like my first feeling of that was, but yeah, like there's just a certain point where it's like, oh yeah, shit does not go well sometimes, huh? That's kind of one of those moments you kind of have to.
Yeah.
find
So
out.
if one day half of all the people I know just flip out of existence, I'll be like, I guess things don't have a happy ending.
And that was caused by me.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Geo's just on the moon of Titan, being like, and snap.
And my hand is like is pretty much beef jerky, and I give Margo, here, Margo, have a slice of my finger.
It's crunchy.
It's crunchy. It's your favorite.
I'd like to think you're still wearing this shirt.
I like that. I got my full purge on the universe right now.
Wearing that fucking shirt.
Got it.
And like I have like I don't know, someone stopping me. Maybe you. I don't know.
Me.
One of you two. I don't know. One of you
Listen,
stop me.
if you're gonna commit mass genocide, you gotta be styling. while
That's
doing it.
true. That's
Yeah.
true. You want to be
Or
noticed.
at least say like, just don't get rid of me. I feel like that's why you guys will be there. Like, don't get rid of me, please.
Come
I
on,
don't want
man.
to go.
I'll go.
Mr. Raphael, I'm not feeling so
Why
good.
don't you stay?
I don't want to go.
You'll stay. Ah.
No. You know, it would be me. It'd be like, Raphael, I don't want to go. Well, I'm just kidding. Bye.
Okay. And I just like relax, and then my head get cut off, and you know, fun stuff.
Me,
Yeah.
I do it.
You do it.
It would be
So-
you. It would be you.
So on that uplifting note, I
Yeah.
think it's time to end off.
Yeah. Well, I really hope I can make more of this soon.
Yeah,
As
definitely.
possible, because I really did miss doing the podcast stuff like this, just talking about random shit, and maybe about like movie stuff or just like anything that we like.
Yeah.
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 What an uplifting podcast.
Yeah, me,
Talking about the insanity of cats.
my full insanity right there. That's
Just
not-
watched you go insane.
Yeah.
I can't watch a
All the
kid's
way
show because
to
I'll think of
genocide.
existence.
Think about Jensen.
Yeah. You know what?
Maybe I did snap. I don't know.
You snapped in here.
Yeah, I did. Let's all blame Paul.
Yeah.
Let's all blame Seth Rogen.
Let's-
All right.
let's
Seth
all
Rogen,
Thank
you
you
ruined
for
our lives.
joining.
I'm gonna
thank
blame
you
him
for the.
for something else later.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Thank you for the 4 people who saw my little rant on
Live.
live cats live, and I got some messages, so I hope it's not one of them. But anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful day and be ready for more like stuff on this channel, and we are planning to do something for like our mark on 5,000.
Yeah.
Wait, what was that? Oh yeah, mark on 5,000. I heard Mark on our passing, and I was like, what are you going on about now?
No.
Easy, we're all gonna go
Like,
trek
we're all
through the
dying?
desert.
We're gonna try through the desert.
We're gonna make a trek through
Channel
the desert.
finale. Channel finale.
Channel finale.
We all die in the fucking desert.
I know, like,
I
5,
took
10
it-
days later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.